Just let me know that you can hear me well, because I do see that there is some slowness in the connection. And let me know who's here, where you're from. I'm gonna have to monitor this because I do see it's I don't know why, a little slower of a connection. Strange. Let's hope it's gonna go smoothly. I get this special message that I like when there's problems with the connection. So let's see here. Okay, it looks like it may improve. Lower bitrate than usual. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna dismiss that message. It says good connection, so hopefully everything's gonna work out fine. Great, so people say they can hear me, so that's good. Let's see who's in the house. I'm gonna then explain what we're gonna do today. I forgot to change the video's title, ironically enough. But hopefully now it's updated. Let me copy the URL. Sorry for the slight delay. Had a bit of a technical issue with starting the stream for some reason. Okay, yeah, so I updated the title to Watercolor Portraits Live. Hopefully you can see the updated title. Let's see who's in the house. We have Harsha Canala, hi. Evelina says hello. Mark Ohio says seems okay here in Ohio. Jen Watson says I can hear you, I'm from Montana. James L. Baker, hi Liron, season's greeting from London. To everyone. Nancy G says okay now, perfect. So happy to hear. I hope it stays that way. I can hear you in California, USA. Phyllis says thank you so much. So if people can hear me, that's good. First off, happy holidays, happy Halloween to whoever is celebrating. We're actually going to celebrate today. Ooh, I get that message again. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We'll do our best. Things seem to work okay right now, so if they take a turn for the worse and you can't hear me or you can't see me properly, just let me know and we can pivot and maybe do a Q&A or something that doesn't rely so much on the visuals. So thank you to anyone who joins. I understand if we're going to have fewer viewers today, I guess, because of Christmas. People have a lot of preparations, but thank you so much. And as always, I will keep this video up so you can watch it whenever you want to. What I want to do today is a bit of quantity. So I got a bunch of portraits here that I printed out. You can find the reference, the original reference photos to these on the description. I updated it just now. If you can't see it, just refresh the page and you'll be able to see it. But I got a bunch of reference photos that are, I think, really good for painting portraits. And we're just going to do some portrait painting today. I think our emphasis is going to be on values and simplifying the portrait, because if I were to actually go into more details and work on something that's a little slower, more measured, and let me switch over to the table so you can see what I have here. It would have been it would just take very long, and I don't necessarily want the stream to be this long, so we're kind of going to have to work with what we've got. I'm going to go over the lines just to make them a little stronger, and you can see my reference here. And again, you can also find it online. I've included links to everything. Let's see who else is in the house. I see people can hear me, so that's good. We have Nikhil Trehan, hi Liron from India. Love your painting style. Thank you so much, Nikhil. Barb White says hello from Ohio. Kimberly Hilton Studio says hi and good morning. Liron from Virginia, USA. Incubus, hi from the UK. Suruchi Bede, hi from London. Meta Helmetu, hello from Romania. How are you? I recognize you from Instagram and other platforms. Peter Fels, hello from Germany. So yeah, thank you so much for anyone who joins. We have 25 people in the house. That's really cool. So what we're going to do again is a lot of portraits. I'm going to try and squeeze in like maybe, ideally I planned for like 5, but that's probably not going to be as much because once you get started and also I answer questions, things always take longer than expected. So maybe 3 if we're lucky, maybe 2, I don't know. We'll see how many. What you're looking at right now is the first portrait I want to work on, and The fun thing about this is we're going to really simplify it into kind of two values, so lights and darks, as I often like to do. And I think we're going to keep everything here pretty monochromatic. By the way, let me know in the chat if you're going to celebrate Christmas today. Just out of curiosity, I want to see. And I wonder if we're going to have, again, fewer viewers today because of that. I honestly have no idea. I don't have my finger on the pulse of Christmas as much. You know, we celebrate Hanukkah here. So so basically this is our first portrait. I actually traced a lot of these because I was in such a hurry and I just wanted to get somewhat of an accurate drawing out there, so tracing is perfectly fine. Our emphasis here is on drawing, and I'm going to show you, I want to show you a couple of things I worked on yesterday too. I got a few comments that say that these live streams, people just want me to get to the painting stage, and again I have to remind the people who need that reminder that the live streams are different, substantially different from the videos themselves. This is my time to really take my time, work a little slower. What am I looking at? Okay, work a little slower and be in touch with you and read the messages in the chat and all of that. So that's really not the time to do like a straight to the point just painting process, so bear with me in that regard. Did I get the light and shadow reversed here? No, I'm good. So that's that line, that's that line, and then this goes into the shadow like that. Good, 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 good. So when you're doing these kinds of portraits that are highly simplified and kind of focus on the light and shadow, it's very useful to just drop in the lines indicating where the light and shadow are. It's kind of could be considered a crutch, but I actually think it's a great idea. So I'm doing that, obviously. Maybe indicate that other nostril, just a general location. And we'll get to painting this soon, so let's see what do you say and what's your response to my questions. Thank you both to Peter. Maggie McNevin, hi from St. Charles, M-O-U-S, Mo, Montana, my guess. Noel Bayer, hi from Trinidad. Asmara Awan, hello from Pakistan. Morning Star, hi from India. Paris D. Black, good morning everyone. Asmara Awan, Merry Christmas, says to everyone. Hemen Kalita, hello. Mark says celebrating Christmas here tomorrow. Meda says yes, I'm baking cookies right now, cool. Barb White, we will celebrate tomorrow, the 25th. Harsha Kanala from India. Asmara Awan, hello from Pakistan again. John says Merry Christmas, Liron, wishing you and everyone lots of peace, love, happiness, and good health for 2021. May 2021 go easy on us. Thank you for all the amazing content this year. You're the best, my friend. Thank you so much, John. Crispy, hello from Germany, Hamburg. I paused my preparations for a while to say hi. Thank you so much. Feel free to go back to preparing whenever you feel like it, and this video is going to stay up, of course. Paris D. Black, I appreciate the way you conduct the live streams, Liron. Thank you. Maggie McNevin, does it bother you if pencil lines show through your watercolor paintings? Not at all. I like them. I feel like they're a part of my style. MS Bucci too, good morning, and Liron and the chat from New York City. Kimberly Hilton Studio, staying home for Christmas. We're expecting a heavy snow later today. It will be a white Christmas here in mountains of Virginia. That's cool. White Christmas, that's, I wish we had more snow here. Javi Jav, happy holiday from Chicago. Shivam's YouTube channel, hi, I'm your biggest fan. I'm only 13 years old. Thank you so much, Shivam. Really appreciate it. So I think we're going to get into it. Reference, drawing. Now again, I made these in advance. Feel free to just kind of follow the process, and if you want to later paint along with me. What we're going to do is establish the first wash. Let's get straight to it. Okay, we have a bunch of portraits to go through, and then I have a bunch of other work to get through, so let's be what do you call it, like, let's be on it. Let's be productive. So I'm going to get started with the first wash, and let me move my face so you can see the reference better. Here we go. And hopefully you'll be able to see my palette well too. I think that works. And I'm just going to get started. So I wanted to keep things quite monochromatic today, just to keep it simple. And I think that's what we'll do, honestly. I think it'll be fun to kind of go with the grays here. Maybe vary them a bit, just a bit. And let me know, as always, I'm curious to hear what more tutorials you want me to do, whether it's on live streams or anything like that. I do have a couple of ideas that I got from you, like someone wanted me to show the texture of silver or gold, something shiny. So that's in the making. Let me move this thing. It bugs me a lot. Here we go. So that's something that is in the making, that's going to happen. I also want to do, so here's an idea I have for next week, and let me know your thoughts on this. I think I'm going to go a little crazy here with this one. I feel it. Sometimes that's just what I want to do when I paint. I have a crazy idea for next week. So either it's going to be 3 tutorials and a live stream and an extra live stream at a spontaneous time when I feel like I want to do one. A bit crazy, but we may do that. Here we go. Let me go dark here. So, okay, colors. How do I know what color to use? I don't. I just wing it, honestly. All the time people ask me this. It doesn't have a method to it always. Okay, sometimes it's just a spontaneous decision on the spot. Okay, so don't overthink it. I planned on doing monochromatic and now I feel like doing colorful. So really don't overthink the color. That's something that sometimes you'll just take a very spontaneous, make a spontaneous decision, and that's fine. To me, a lot of it is just like, oh, okay, I want to put a strong red, so I'm going to put it. You see? I don't think about it too much very often. Okay? Now, while I'm doing this wash, I do want to make sure that my edges work. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to take some wet, very wet paint like this, and then I'm going to blend that edge by cleaning the brush, drying it, blending it like that. And from that point, I'm going to start darkening it again. Okay? Now here I really have to start paying attention to the areas I cover. So I'm going to go like this. Be sure to skip my highlights. Really wasn't planning on this being colorful like the recent YouTube tutorial, but that's life for you. You just kind of do what you feel like very often and allow yourself that freedom. This wash is going to dry on me. That's fine. Let's go like this. And again, there not always is there a method to the madness, so to speak. So very often I'll just take a very spontaneous decision when it comes to the colors. What you have to remember, and that's probably one of the most important parts, is, so this is a highlight, here we go. Whenever you paint this way, 2 values, maybe you do a study of just better understanding the reference or something like that, you really have to trust the process, because right now you look at it, it doesn't necessarily look like much, but if you trust the process, it will eventually turn into something that you can read as a portrait. And I think that will be the main takeaway from here. So look at me go, trusting the process, and knowing that if I just continue, you see the eye kind of shows itself suddenly. It wasn't there just a moment ago, and now it looks like an eye. So you really have to trust the process, trust your lines, trust the lines that you put earlier, that they will work. You see, starts to take a nice shape. Think of the edges, work wet enough. Some of the videos are just going to be that, you know, I planned for something a little more constructed, but for some reason now I feel like it's kind of making it a little more fun and whimsical. I can always do the more serious processes, you know, for a pre-recorded video. But when I do these lives, I kind of want to really enjoy them and feel free. Because honestly, if I start now going over every small detail, it's going to be very long. We can do that, and we will do that, I think, at some point. It's just that now is not that point, and I hope you'll enjoy it. So let me know your plans for Christmas while I'm painting. Curious to hear. So, by the way, so next week's idea, what I thought I'd do is maybe a kind of a row of 3 painting lessons that are kind of similar in this method of being a little more whimsical and fun. And then, let's get some red here. And then we can squeeze in a live session kind of spontaneously in which we talk and just have fun, and maybe I'll do some inking. I started doing inking, and I'm going to show you in just a moment. Maybe we can kind of do that. So the live session is going to be a little more talkative. You see how I render those lips? Look like that. See? All of these creases, you have to pay attention to these small details. And then you kind of go like this. Let me neutralize some of that color here, make it a little darker even. And we'll add some of the mustache. Let's see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, so I see some comments. It looks like you're enjoying this process, so I'm happy to hear. I see someone asking to do, Hamid R. Janani says, please do body proportions video. I will. I will do something like that. I think it's time to take things to the next level in a way and really show you some more advanced concepts when it comes to figure drawing. I feel like I'm getting to a good spot. I'm going to show you a few works again I did yesterday, and you'll see what I mean. Now the bottom, you don't have to do too much, so I'm just going to put in some dry brush texture for the beard. See here? Like that. Now, if you do look at some of the nuances, you'll notice, and I kind of messed it up, completely didn't notice. This side of the lip is much lighter. So let me fix that, because I did want to show you this nice shadow up top. Let me just go like this. See, this is the best way to do it. There we go, got it lighter. And, you know, don't stress over these things. So many people stress over them, and then you end up hurting yourself because of nervousness and thinking like you messed up. You didn't. You see, it was a very easy fix. Very, very easy fix. So here I'm gonna have to darken and merge these two shapes a bit, like that. This part is drying, so I'm not gonna touch it anymore. I can add a bit of a shadow here, and this was very quick. Again, you can take your time a bit more and get to a few more accurate results. I'm gonna put in that other eyebrow, and that's gonna really add a lot. And look at how really I don't paint within the shape, I kind of paint the shape in one go with my brush. And that's something you want to slowly improve at. I find that it really helps my paintings look better, and it helps me render shapes a little quicker. It's a very useful skill to have. Filling in the shapes efficiently, it's something I talked about in a few videos in the past. So once I finish this wash, I'll see what you're writing in the chat, but I really hope this kind of a process is fun for you. This should be darker. Let's go here. This is much thicker. We have all of the eyelashes. Let's get a few of these here, like that. And maybe I'll let you choose the next one, the next portrait we'll do, because I have a bunch of them again. Let's close this off a bit, like that. So you see, hopefully some kind of a face has emerged from this. Due to the perspective of the camera, it can be a little skewed, so here we go. Now, of course, there are a lot of improvements to make here already at this stage. For example, this entire area should be in the shadow and kind of merge with the background a bit more. Let's see what else. This, I would go a little tighter here on the cheekbone. Would probably also add some very light touches here to indicate the nostrils area, kind of like that. See? That helps bring it together a bit. And the beautiful part is, after we're done with this wash, all we have to do really is think about it and maybe add a few touches of detail just to bring some details out. So we're going to allow this to dry for a few moments. I'm going to see what you're writing in the chat, and then we'll continue. So let me go a little back here and see. Quite a lot of messages. Phyllis Barrett says, we celebrate tomorrow here. Have a blessed Christmas to you all. Billy Armstrong, Merry Christmas from California. Laura Patton, Merry Christmas Eve from Orlando, Florida. Lisa Bertram, Merry Christmas from Cinque Terre, Italy. Laura Patton, live streams, thank you so much. Tonya Trenton, Merry Christmas, Knoxville. TN is Tennessee. I never remember Knoxville. I know Nashville is Tennessee, but is Knoxville Tennessee? I don't know. Let me know. Evelina, and happy Hanukkah as well. Hanukkah's over, but thank you so much. And you also, I believe you said it in the previous live or somewhere else. And Black Angel says, hi, Sarah Med. Hi, Merry Christmas. Kimberly Hilton Studio. I recently joined your painting course. I've been busy moving to a new place, but I'm really looking forward to learning new techniques. I love your painting style. Thank you so much, Kimberly. I think I remember, I think we corresponded via email. Let me know. And yeah, thank you so much. A lot of people have joined in the latest sale, the 15% off the frustration-free watercolor course, and I want to thank you so much. There was a little bit of a bug, and maybe some of you have experienced it, that you logged in and you couldn't see anything, any of the course content. So that was I don't think it was my bad. It was actually on PayPal's end. For some reason, the purchases weren't registering. So sorry about that. Yeah, it happened with PayPal. Anyone who bought with credit card, it didn't happen. So just letting you know. Evelina says, I love the colors. Thank you so much. Polly's Arts, happy Festivus. Hamid Arjanani, please do more do body proportions videos. Let me show you while this dries the things I've been working on. Maybe just for a moment. By the way, this starts catching a very nice shape. Really is coming together nicely. See? I did a lot of, I'll show you the main one, I think. So I did a few studies, a lot of gestures, as you can see here. But the ones I'm most proud of are these mannequinizations. Basically, looking at a reference photo of a person in action and simplifying it to very simple shapes like cylinders, boxes, and so on. Look at the hand, it's just a cylinder. And that's tough, that's a hard thing to do. And then I did a couple of manga studies. Now the one I was inking just as we started this live stream is this. This is a study from Berserk, so I'm kind of mid-process. Very challenging, look at the details in the hair. Maybe we can do something like this as we chat in a future live stream, maybe next week. We'll see about that. This one I'm very happy with. I like this style, and I think I'll try developing it a little more, finding what I like about the proportions here and maybe bringing it over to some of my other works. But yeah, a lot of fun stuff. Yesterday I really took a long time to just create and kind of enjoy the painting process. By the way, maybe let's see here. I think we'll paint this one next. What do you say? After we finish this one, I actually have it already taped here on the other side, so we can do that. That's an interesting face as well. Lots of interesting details within the lights, and the glasses add a lot. I think that will be a fun one. Let me know if you want to do this one, or maybe let's see what else looks good. I actually prepared all the drawings. Let me show you. I prepared everything. So we have the glasses on the other side. We have this person here. This, again, I really quickly traced these, so nothing too, like I didn't measure or anything like that. This is going to be a tough one for sure. It's this one, you see. So let me know. I think we'll go with the glasses. Glasses look good. It's on the other side of my board here again. Sarah Med says, I'm painting a piece with watercolor for a Christmas gift. That's great. That's the best gift. A painting, like something you prepared. Honestly, that's the best, in my opinion. Let's see here. Sujanith says, hi Liron. Hi my friend, how are you? Charles Bell, watching this is like getting an early Christmas gift. Sure. And thank you for that, and I will soon finish the frustration-free watercolor course. So that's going to be kind of my late, maybe it's going to be my New Year's gift to you. Just a free course, really long, very detailed on how to simplify in multiple ways. I think you'll really enjoy it. Nikhil asks, does frustration-free watercolor start with monochromatic studies? There is an element to that. It's not the main focus of the course, but yes, we do talk about that. I will talk more about it in the How to Simplify course. That's again going to be free. It's going to be out probably in 2 months max, so maybe you want to wait for that. Laura Patton, I'm doing it, painting and watching painters on YouTube. Awesome. Lise Bertram, Lisa, this looks a lot of fun. I have to try that later today, maybe with some figures. Yeah, figures are also really good for that. I kind of try and keep my channel, I guess, PG-13. So I don't do a lot of figures, like nude studies and stuff like that, but maybe I will in the future. We'll see. Sujanith says, could you do a video on watercolor brush pen? Yes, I don't remember if you asked. Someone asked me before, and I will. I will do that soon. Asmara Awan says, wow, thank you. Laura Patton, love to see you correct mistakes. Cubswin asks about the brushes you use. So I used this Escoda Barocco size 16 so far. We'll see what else I'm going to use. I believe I also very briefly used this one. Also Escoda Perla size, what size is it? 8, I believe. Yeah, 8. So this one too. Mainly these two. Sanjeev, hi Liron from Assam, India. Cool. John says, love your choice of colors. Thank you. Zaid Thakur says, hey Liron, since watercolor goes down permanent, how do you get rid of a mistake? You can lift. I can show you how I'll lift. For example, and I don't think it'll be necessary here. I'm happy with it. But if you look at this area here, let me show you really quick. I can actually reblend it even though it's kind of dry. So I wet my brush. It's very wet right now. So I'm just going to go one dab on the towel, and I'm just going to re-wet this area here, and then I'm going to dry it and touch it again, and you'll see how it helps it blend a little. You see the effect? And then I can also bring a piece of tissue and go like this. Now if you want me to get this to be as light as this, it's not going to happen. That one's done. What I usually do in order to fix mistakes is I'll approach it the other way around. I'll darken things around the mistake to make it more accurate. Okay, so you have to wing it in a way, or just do another one, maybe, you know, call that one done and perhaps do another attempt. You will learn with time how to fix a variety of mistakes on the go while you're painting. That's the best, if you can catch it while it's still wet. Which is the most of my mistakes. Most of my mistakes I'm able to catch live as I do them, and then the correction is possible. If it's fully dry, then these small touches is pretty much the only thing you can do, which is very often enough. So yeah. Toothbrush. Yeah, Arthur says use a toothbrush. That can work too. Maggie McNevin, I tend to be so literal in my paintings. How do you suggest loosening up and not worry about making it look real? One big step is to draw like I draw, just very simplified, you see. All I see here is areas of light and shadow, so even if I want to go more detailed, I can't go more detailed than that. So a quick tip I can give you in that regard is do a drawing that supports that. Do a drawing that will support you not going overboard, okay? Also choose simpler reference photos like the ones I put in the description box, just 2 values. Like look at this, there's really not much if you look in terms of shapes. This is all one big shape. You see all of this shape? It's just one big shape. So if you approach it that way, you will be able to keep it simple. Now the variation within the shape, you don't have to do anything, but if you want to vary it, you can, but by just treating it as one big shape, you will keep it simple, okay? Another way is to look at the negative space. So this is pretty much a negative space, but look at this triangular shape and try to recreate it in your painting. So instead of trying to create a shape of a nose, try looking at the shape you leave behind and having that look accurate. So like this shape. Look at this triangular shape. If you can leave that behind accurately, like I did here, you'll get a good result. Okay? It's all about the shapes really with simplification to me. Flattening some of the values, that also works. So let's see. W, hi Liron, how do you determine your mid-tones specifically in portraits like the one you're painting now? I just go with a consistency that's somewhere in the middle. So I don't try to mimic the values I see here in this example. What I did was, I'm going to show you, I just pick up a few paints. So I'll pick up some blue here, like that. I'll pick up some red and some yellow. Now this looks a little too strong, so I'll just add a bit of water. What I'm looking for is flow. I want this to have some movement, you see? Now we're in a good spot. It has some movement. Now I can bring back some more paints to it. And as long as it has good flow, I'm happy with it. Once you put it on paper, you get to see that it may be too light or too dark, and then you can even take some pure paint. Let me show you, so you can see. You just take some pure paint from the well and just put it on paper, as I did here and here in many places. But decision-wise, I just go for something, for the first wash at least, I go for something that has enough movement so that I won't have super hard time. Like this is not movement. You see, this is too thick. Okay, let me show you up close. If I go like this, this doesn't move at all. This is good. This actually moves. You see? So I'm looking for movement and kind of in the middle. I'm fine with whatever value I get, to be honest. In these studies, where all I care about is like dividing it into 2. I don't really care about the exact values there. I just wanted to leave a strong impression. One more thing is, when you have these paper white areas, it doesn't really matter what the value here is. I could do many things, honestly, and it will still read well. Okay, now let me do something here. Let me go over this with a second wash just to bring out some details and make us focus on what the focal point is, which is probably the area of the eyes. So let me do this. Let me grab a bit of this kind of a orange-brown color. I'm going to accentuate some darks within the eyebrow very gently. So this here. I'm going to go over the eye and bring out some of the stronger shadows. It's a bit hard for me to see because of the light's angle is right on my paper, but hopefully you can see. So I'm going to make that pupil a little darker here. So already you see our eyes get attracted to this area here. See? This in the shadow could be darker. This lower area with the eyelids and the lashes and all of that. And that's pretty much it for this section, I think. What we can do next is maybe the nostril. Just get a bit of a shadow there, and maybe even within the shadow. See, like that. So it kind of gives it a bit more structure. If it's too strong, you can go like this, kind of smear it a bit. That's a quick trick for getting it to be a little lighter. Same goes for this side, but here I have to be a little more careful because this is already one big beautiful shape. I don't want to destroy that with too clear of edges, so I'm going to keep my work minimal, just to the eyelid here, go around that, make this maybe a little darker, and you see that's pretty good. That's actually really nice. You see? What you can do is kind of continue it. So if you don't want this harsh change, you can just move it around a bit, you see? Like this. And you're done. Like that. Kind of blend it into it. If you want to bring the focal point somewhere else, let's say the lips, you can go ahead and get this area of the lips a little darker. Kind of here. This is where it tends to be the darkest anyway. Maybe you can add a bit of a touch of darkness under the lip, you see? The more you add these shapes in, the more it will render the shape of the face a little more in detail, in depth. So it's a matter of how much you want of that, okay? So if I go like this, I can continue with this line here. Move this to the left, because this area is dark. It could go darker. It's only a question of how much of the viewer's attention you want to direct to it in this style, in this approach. Again, if you go for hyperrealism, it's a little different. But honestly, I think that's good enough for this one. I don't want it to be too detailed, but I think we kind of captured the expression well. Let me show you up close. I think that works nicely. Let me even show you in my face camera here. See? So I think that works out nicely. Let me know your thoughts. Like that. I like that. And I think we can move on to the next one. Let's see what you say, and we'll probably move to the glasses. The guy with the glasses. Start with the mid values. Artoshi Love says, hello, Liron, best portrait practice. Please tell. So I'm showing you one of the, I think, best portrait practices. If you're talking about the drawing side of things, honestly, I have a lot to learn in that regard to get the likeness. I can draw heads three-dimensionally. Portraits, like actual accurate portraits, I still have a long way to go. James L. Baker, the soft edge on the nose shadow on the portrait is fantastic. Thank you. It's a big part of, and this is really important to have in mind. If you look at this area here, this area here, and this area here are key. They're very important, more important than you would expect, because if we didn't have them, all we'd have is hard edges like this. And that's fine. It can look really good too, but I like to break all of these straight lines with these blurry lines. You see blurry transitions, broken edges, softened edges, whatever you want to call it, lost and found edges. Like here, the edge between the face and the background is completely lost because it's within the same value range, you see? And there's obviously a lot of editing. If you want to be as accurate as this one, I'll go with another wash, darken almost everything up, we're not really after that here in this kind of a practice session, okay? So no need to go that detailed. There is a different type of reference photo that I would recommend if you want to render the values more accurately. We may do something like that in the future. Something that's a little less chiaroscuro and a little more like lights and darks balanced in the shape, in the face. We may do something similar in the future. So I think for now we'll go with probably this one, the one I said, the glasses. I think that's going to be our next one. Artoshi Love for resemblance. Oh, okay. Best portrait practice for resemblance. Yeah, okay. That I answered that. I think it's just, it's hard. It's really hard. I will say you kind of need to learn the structure of the face. You need to understand what the shape of the features is. And I can show you a quick example if I want to. Let me do this. I think I talked about it before, but you really want to understand. I have a study I did here. So you want to understand the shape of eyes. So for example here. You want to really understand what the eye looks like from the front, from the side like this, because from the side you see this is the inside of the eye, and then you really see the tear duct shape. Let me show you a few others here. I've shown you some of these. The nose, for example, you really want to understand its shape and why it looks the way it does from different angles. I should have like specific nose practice here somewhere. Well, let's see if I can find it. That's figures, 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 figures. But if you really want to get that similarity, I can't find it, so I'll just show you here we go. Okay, that's a good example, the lips. For example, you really want to understand their structure. So for example, the muscles and everything here, you see this shape, this kind of a pad and the heart-shaped pad, two pads here, and that's what builds the shape of the lips. And here you can see it in action with light and shadow. Now look at the side here. It's kind of looks like a beam in that regard because it pinches. This side here of the lips, it pinches inwards. These things are, I think, pretty much a must. Here we go. The entire lips are placed in a part of the face that is beveled outside, kind of like a tuna can. That's what Proko calls it. So it's not just flat on the face. There is this mass that is protruding outward. And that's the kind of thing you really have to, here we go, noses. So the planes of the nose. Now if you want to keep it simple, you have this. So the nose is kind of like a weird pyramid shaped. And this is the bottom plane. See here, that's the bottom plane. And then we have the front and sides. So you really want to understand how to draw that in all sorts of directions. There is no escape from that. Like if you really want to get the similarity down, you have to better understand the shape of the facial features and how to place them on a generic head. Once you do that, you will start seeing the variations. So some people have wider noses, some people have longer noses, some people have sharper nostrils. There is a lot of variation, and the way you get that accuracy is by placing everything. There's variation in the placement too. Like some people's noses are a little lower, a little higher. Some are bigger, obviously. Some have a huge nose. The eyes. My eyes are relatively close to one another, so the distance between them varies too. You want to be able to place all of these features in the right spot on the head, and you want to draw them accurately, the details within them, okay? Now, if we go in this method of painting, of just following the shapes we see, that will produce good results, but if you really want to take it to the next level, you have to do all the things I just mentioned. No way around it, really. And that's some of my next steps are going to be going into these depths. It's not something that a lot of people want to go through, but if it really is important for you, I would go in that direction. LaW, also thanks for painting a portrait today. I'm drawn to painting portraits. However, there are not a lot of videos on YouTube that cover watercolor portrait painting in detail. Yeah, that's true. Some of the best ones are Stan Miller's. So if you want to check out his work, Stan Miller. I can write it in the chat. I'm going to write it in all caps. Stan Miller. He's really good. He has a few portraits. Lice Bertram, are you doing Croquis Cafe? Yeah, I am doing Croquis Cafe. Nice that you recognize it. Triveni Praveen, hi Liron, Merry Christmas. Thanks a lot for all these live tutorials. How do you decide on particular colors to put on? Is it on a whim? Yes. Or do you follow cool warm theory? Usually on a whim. Sometimes I will put more thought into it, and very often my thought will be incorrect. I'll discover that it wasn't the right decision, and then I'll slowly learn how to improve it for the next time. So yeah. Artoshi Love, can we find this video on your channel? Yes, you will be able to find. Do you refer to this live? If you are, it's going to stay there. Okay, it's going to stay on the channel for sure. John says, I remember your Santa portrait demo, which was great. Your new brush kept losing hair in. You had to see the Christmas tree, and you had been to see the Christmas tree in Jaffa. Yeah, that's true. I loved that brush, by the way. I still have it here somewhere. I think it's there in a glass jar. It's a really nice Winsor Newton brush. I should take it out more. Eva Dosti says, hello from Montreal. Paris D. Black, Korean YouTube blogs, any nude model content. Yeah, that's the problem. Croaky Cafe used to be on YouTube, and then they moved out to Vimeo. Mark, don't forget to like this live stream, everyone. Thank you so much, Mark. Yes, please, if you can like this live stream, it helps it reach more people. Kimberly Hilton Studio, I received an email from you, but I've been so busy with the move I haven't had a chance to respond. Cool, no worries. Secrets de Zines. It looks like an auto portrait. I don't know what it means. Oh, the result looks like you, like a self-portrait. Okay, I see. Maybe. I heard that people tend to draw in others what they see in themselves, so I guess that can be a case of that. Umar Tang, penmanship. Hello, watching from the Philippines. Cool. Lies Bertram, I'm so happy to hear you're human and make mistakes, of course. Eva Dosti says, just joined, so I missed the first painting. No worries, it looks awesome. I'll catch it in the recording. We have, I think, 2 more to go through, so you didn't miss much. Zaid says, how important is using a full range of values? As you can see, not really, because I could drop the darker values here and it would still work. Actually, looking back at it, I do want to lift some paint here. So let me show you some more lifting action. These paints are fairly strong, so I don't know if I'll be able to lift much, but let's try. So I'm just going to put some water, and then I'm going to scrub this section. Looks like I'm actually successful. See? Making it a little lighter. I think I went a little too dark there. There we go. You see? I think that makes a little more sense. I just played around with the shape of the pupil. Now it looks a little off, so I'm just going to do this. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's really good. I think that really did it. I love how watercolor can make the subject look better than the actual picture. Yeah, with the flow and everything, it's so good. Laura Patton says, love it. Artoshi says, this is Stan Miller kind of lesson. Oh yeah, we were on the same page. Francis Lee, hopefully I'm not too late. No worries. We're pretty early. We have at least 1 more to go, probably 2. Could you teach perspective on how to measure straight arm technique, etc.? I will at some point, yes. Meta Helmachu, sorry, I think it's true. Interesting, I think you could try painting this kind of portrait. You make it look, I could try. Yeah, definitely, give it a try. Anyone can do this. Again, without learning all the features and everything, if you just follow what you see, everyone can do this, really. Francis Lee, your studies are absolutely detailed. Thank you. Thank you so much, my friend. Your work is amazing. I saw a couple of recent ones I really, really loved. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a magic trick here, flippity flop. And we have another one that I prepared in advance. So let's paint this one. Like the previous one, this one has quite a lot going on. Hetzelfde? What? Better. Ruth is gonna go on a walk. So yeah, this one has a lot going on in the light and shadow, and kind of nothing in the dark areas. So the question is how we want to approach it. What I think I'll do is use a very I know what I'll do. I'll do something I don't do as often. I can either pre-wet everything but the highlights and then paint within that kind of area, or I can do a first wash like I did before with the previous one, very light, and use that as kind of my pre-wet, okay? Because what people often don't think about is pre-wetting is kind of like painting the first wash in a way. Let me show you what I mean. And that's an interesting thought experiment. You can pre-wet things this way with clear paint, right? And then you start pouring into it. That's one way of doing it. Or you can pre-wet with a very thin wash and then put some wet and wet within that. Okay, so there isn't much difference between pre-wetting and just putting a layer and working over that. I hope that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is use my pretty huge Liron art brush, size 6 mop, which is this one, to put down a very light initial wash. And then into that we're going to place some details wet and wet. Okay, let's try doing something fun here. So what I need to do is basically wet everything that is not highlights. Okay, let's start warm. I like the idea of starting warm and then slowly pushing the shadows. Let's get rid of this hair. And the main concern here is to keep it wet. Okay, keep this paper wet as you can. The shapes here are actually quite fun, so I'm going to go around the nose here. I'm going to leave the left side of the nose as a highlight. Everything else is in the shadow. And the beautiful part about this is that you can actually still see your wet areas. You don't have to use the light or anything like that because you can actually see them because you've tinted them. I hope that makes sense. Here we go. Some of the details on the eye, very briefly. This is where the dark turns into light. Again, keep this wet. Go over it again. You will need to, okay? So I'm gonna go over with some warm red. And again, always have one of these handy. Spray some water to keep it alive. Because what we're gonna do here is kind of a fun little light to dark, wet and wet action, okay? That's the official name of this technique. What was it? I forgot already because it was too long, but in any case. Now, this is Ruth, by the way, barking here on the outside. Shadow, shadow, shadow. This is in the shadow too. Let's work around the nose here. The mustache is in the shadow. I'm going to leave a few highlights for the teeth. Nah, let's go over them. We'll keep them fairly light, but we won't leave a highlight. Like this. So basically I covered everything but the highlights. Now we have to do it again. And while it's still wet, you can keep working it, keep doing a lot of different things you see here, and gradually taking this from what it is now, which is fairly light, to something that's darker. Okay, this is still super wet. Let me show you in the light. See? Everything is flowy and nice. And that's the best case scenario because you can really take your time. I could literally go like grab my water bottle in a moment. I will and take a few sips, then continue painting. It's perfectly fine. And this is a good opportunity to start establishing color harmony. What's warm, what's cool. Let's put some coolness here on the peripheries of the painting. And there is no real worry of overworking here. Because it's still, everything is so wet, then you're fine. You can do whatever you want. And you can make a decision. Okay, I'm going to stop here, let it dry, and then continue adding darker layers over that. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to go as dark as necessary here. So let me show you how you can pull off like an entire portrait almost just like that. Just wet and wet. What I do want to do is maybe blend some of this edge here. Like that. Here we go. Okay. And continuing. Let's put a bit of red on the nose. That's always a nice little effect. Very different from my usual method and work process, where I really kind of go wet over dry and then kind of see what happens. Now let's start focusing on what needs to be maybe darker. So let's put in some darker background here. Try avoiding pure colors now. I don't know why. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try having some red in my blue and some blue in my yellow and all of that. Here I can go a little cooler again because, again, this is the background. And it's still, everything is still wet and it flows really well, so we still have quite a good reaction time, so to speak. Okay, and look at these colors. These are very, very nice. Now let's see what you're saying in the comments. What is your favorite primary colors for a limited palette? It'll be something like French Ultramarine, Phthalo Blue, Quinacridone Rose, Pyrrole Scarlet, Yellow Ochre. That's what I would go with. Let's see here. Let's go darker on the face. I think it's time. Because it is darker, see? What's going to make the separation between the face and the background is the temperature in this case. So that's going to be fun. Some yellow ochre, fairly opaque paint. So it may obstruct some of our pencil lines, but that's fine. This is kind of connected to the beard. I'm really thinking where I want to take this one at this point. Let's go like this here. Let's do this. Let's do let's go a little cooler on the shadows of the face. Still warm, but just a little bit cooler here. See, because we do need some darkness on this section as well. Kind of like that. Where are the strongest darks? Let me open the original picture because I don't have it in good quality here, unfortunately. Let's see here. Okay, I have it in front of me. Yeah, okay, I see now. I see it. Sorry, I moved the camera a bit. Okay, so let's... I actually feel like maybe it will be a good idea to let it dry a bit. But let's try anyway. Go like this. With the darkest shadows. Look at how much work we can get in just with this one go, you know. That's really fun and efficient. And it is the essence of watercolor in a way. And it's a way that many people use to paint, so it is kind of a tried and true. Go a little darker here. You see how the shape of the face starts to kind of come together. Now let's go a little darker yet still on the background. I want to show you how wet this still is. Can you see it? It's very wet still. Because we do need some darkness. And then we'll have some reflected light here on the right side of the face. Kind of a thin strip of lighter areas. Now, I'm going to switch over to a smaller brush. We'll get some smaller details within the shadows, like the glasses and stuff like that. And we'll see how much we can get away with, because I really don't want a lot of details there. So the glasses are quite prominent, I would say. It's a bit hard to see in the reference photo on my desk, but if you do want to visit the website, I believe this is the 5th one on the reference list. So if you want to see it, you can just open it there and you'll see it. Let's get this part of the beard a little darker. See? It starts to take shape, I think, really nicely. Let's see where I put this. Okay, here we go. And we have a pretty strong shadow here. This is all kind of in the shadow, so let me go over it like that. A bit of a shadow here, strong shadow here. This should be stronger. But do I want to make this area stronger? Probably not. Let's keep it lighter. Let's keep it lighter. Let's worry about some edges now. Let's blend some edges that we want to stay a little softer. One of those being... Right now I'm ready for it to dry. I'm okay with it drying. This edge here, let's get this to be a little smoother. This here, like that. See? Don't you like to use those heat guns? I actually have a hair dryer that does the work, does the job pretty well. So I use that, and we will use it for this one for sure, because that's quite a... Sorry, I think I moved the camera again. Yeah. That's not good. Here we go. Yeah, and we will use one for this because otherwise it's going to take ages to dry. So here we go, like that. We can actually start putting in some of the glasses also, like the rest of them. So this here. connect it to the shadow. Shape of the eye, smiling, so a few of these beautiful creases here to the side. Another one here. See, now that we took care of the big shapes, we can kind of move on to some of the other shapes. One more thing I want to do is maybe pick back up some paint in areas where we may have gotten a little too dark. So this part of the mustache is a little lighter, see? Just picking it up. Some people just paint like this. I don't do that as much, but that's a very beautiful and a valid way to paint. Kind of lifting and doing wet and wet. See, I'm bringing out the teeth back, like that. This area I also want to be blended, so let's go. And once we're pleased with the result, we'll use the hairdryer to dry it. I do see quite a significant highlight here, so let's do that. You can even put some water into this to make it lighter. I don't want to take the risk of getting some serious cauliflowers now, so maybe if it had been a little earlier, I would have. But in any case, this area is, you see, much lighter, so we bring out some of these shapes here. There's obviously a limit to how much we can lift back, but we're still within that range here as well. There is some nice reflected light here, so let me pick back up some of this side of the face, and you see how it kind of sets the balance right. What else? We have a pretty significant lighter area here. And this may be me going a little too light, but that's fine, I don't care. Like that. This shape I completely missed, but that's the cheek, and it's a very rounded shape, so we will have to blend that edge for sure. Okay, let me know what you think of this process in the comments. I'm curious to hear. And again, if you still haven't liked the video, I would really appreciate if you do. It really helps it get to more people. But you see how it starts to look like a shape of a face. Let me show you up close. See? It always looks better in real life. I look at it and I'm like, the camera doesn't really do it that much justice, but that's fine. Now, if you really want to pick up a lot of paint, you can use some tissue and just go like this and pick it up, you see? If you need some more, I think I'll do it for this area as well, like that. There is this small highlight here. Let's see if I can pick it up. Like that, see? It went a little too much there. Let's see if I can fix that. That should be dark, but this highlight should be picked up. By the way, I think hot pressed paper handles lifting a little better. So just as a side note, because I always bash on it, and I always say I don't like it as much, that's one advantage it does have. I think we'll let it dry now. So let's bring out the hairdryer. I'm going to mute this so that I don't, it's not too loud. So let's do it. I'm going to go mute, come back really soon. So I think it's dry enough. Ruth is back. I think it's dry enough. Let me show you. It looks a little duller always when dry, but trust me, the colors are really nice, actually. So we're at a point where you want to bring out some more details and some more areas for the viewer to focus on, but you want to be very careful because we have something really nice here. We have a nice flow. By the way, thank you for letting me know about that small light under the nose. It's good that you noticed it. I also noticed it just on the last minute. So yeah, honestly, you just want to preserve the good things we have here and add a bit more to that. So I'm going to be fairly careful with this stage, okay? And it's fully dry. Let's jump into it and just start, and then I'll look at some of your comments. So I'm going to start with the most obvious thing, actually, which is the glasses. I'm just going to darken them a bit, because they are darker. And they're darker in the shadow as well, so you want to capture that, you see here. Then they kind of blend with the existing shadow. Let's do it like this. There is a bit of a detail here, and then we're good. Now I do have a couple of areas in the ear that I haven't even touched yet, so let's do those now. Bring out that shape of the ear. This is fairly simple. You just recreate the shapes you see. And because the ear is thin and it tends to really, light shines really well through it, I like to do these colors warm. So I'm going for fairly warm and light colors here. There is this shadow here. There is a variety of edges within the ear that you have to be aware of. So let me show you. This shape has a very subtle transition to softer. Right here, right here, right here. So you soften that up a bit. Bring back some value. This part of the ear is in the shadow, which will bring out this white part of the glasses. Like that. You see how it starts to take shape, the structure. Now I want to add a bit of that beard. See, kind of like this, very easygoing side of the brush, just to get that nice little dry effect. Now here you see I'm reversing the values, so the background should be darker, but because it's fairly light, I can actually darken this shadow on the face or the hair to be a little darker, and it will actually work really nicely. Okay, let me rotate this a bit. It drives me crazy. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, so we got that down. Let me open the picture again up here on my computer. Here we go. I can actually place it. Let me get it here on the video. So I'm going to do plus. I'm going to add an image. I'm going to create new, and then we'll browse. I want you to see the higher quality one as well. Here we go. Now it's going to be huge, so sorry about that. I'm going to make it smaller. We just don't need the one I have here. I'm going to use it, but you don't have to. So here we go. Look at that. Okay, a much better view of the subject. Now, I don't want to go too dark because this is fairly high key, and I plan on keeping it that way. So what we're looking at is just small touches, okay? So the eye could be a little darker, like that. This thing here could be a little darker as well. Again, if I want to actually hit the values to be the exact ones, I'll have to paint over large areas of this, and I'm not after that at all. We have the nostril under the nose, kind of like that. See here? There we go. Okay, here I want to add a bit of a darker section of the beard, kind of using the side of my brush. See, like that. Then I have to keep it tame, because the left side of the beard, of the mustache rather, is fairly light. Now this I'm going to blend into this kind of a shadowy shape underneath, like that. And again, it's going to be a very gentle touch. I don't want to create anything that's too striking and popping too much. I want to preserve the looseness we had earlier, which means we're almost done, by the way. I don't think I'll add much to it. Just improve upon some of the shapes that are already here. We may keep this one fairly loose, I think. We actually have the hair in this area. Let's do that. Just gives it a bit more shape here. And then obviously, if you don't want hard edges, just bring some water, help it move. There we go. Let's do some of the lighter values on the nose. There are quite a lot of these. So this part is in a kind of a slightly lighter, not paper white, I mean. Same here. So you just build the shapes up. Blend whatever is necessary. This is a very interesting portrait. Very interesting. I think I'll have another go at it in the future. Let me connect this shadow to the eye. Let's go a little darker here, because it is a focal point, so it is okay to go a little darker. You always want to balance out the accuracy with the message you're trying to create, because not always accuracy and detail are going to support that message, okay? And you want to also practice doing things very accurately, and that's that. Because you want to have both skills in a way. I want to fix the shape of the tip of the nose just a bit, so it kind of goes out like that, goes back in. Bit of a stronger shadow under this highlight, bit of a stronger shadow here. Lip. The lip is darker, so let's do that. Like this. And then we have the shadows in between the teeth. And then this goes darker, you see? So I'm trying to render some details, but not forcing myself to work through everything in the shadow. That's really not what I'm after here. Let me switch to a bit of a cooler paint here. Let's make this a little darker here. I'm fine with that. Then blend it out like we did before. Really trying to figure out what the balance I want to strike is. This should be darker. That doesn't work. But it shouldn't be as cool, so I kind of messed that part up. Let's lift some of it back. Oh, that's fine. Let's see. Yeah, I think that works. Let's have a bit of a clearer shape here. That's a part of the process. You kind of get lost in it, and then you find your next move. It's a very natural. See, I keep messing up this shape. It's terrible. I just want to get a clean border for that tooth, and I can't seem to get it. So we go like this, and then like that, and here we go. That's better. See? I'd much rather be a little more careful here and really think about my steps. You know, I think maybe we'll keep it kind of abstract. Let me show it to you on the front camera. Let's switch over. So look at that. Now let me maybe take a step back, you see? So I think that works really nicely. And I feel like if I start adding too much more, I'll end up regretting it. And obviously a lot of things could be better here, but I don't know, I kind of like it. So let me know your thoughts. We can try adding just a few details. Let's see what else we can do here. Then we'll move on to the third and probably final one for today. But I really like this one. It's actually, I think it captured the expression really nicely. Interesting. Okay. Let's bring out some more of the shape of the beard. I'm gonna read your comments in a moment. Maybe I'll take a break, read your comments, and come back with some fresh eyes. I think it'll help. So this is a little darker. And this will better define the shape of the face. See here? This is too dark. I'm gonna make it lighter in just a moment. I'll spread it out with some water. That can actually work in our favor. See? Now we better define the overall shape of the face, like that. Let's keep it symmetrical. See, that's really nice. There's quite a lot of nuance here, actually. One thing we can do, again with the mustache, let's bring some more water here. So one thing we can do is add a few like small details for it. So maybe this goes like that. Very thin, see? Just to better indicate it, like that. Yeah, that works nicely. Maybe make this shadow a little darker. Yeah, I think that works well. Let's balance it. You see how the mustache goes kind of like too much upward, so I'm gonna go like this. There we go. A bit of a darker shadow here, I think. This is good. I think I'll keep it that way. I think I'll let this one go now. It's a very interesting one. It's a very interesting painting. Yeah, let's go over some of your comments and then I'll revisit it and see if anything else kind of stands out that I would want to try out. But I really like it, and let me hold it up a little straight to the camera so you can better see it. Let's see what you say. Let me take this in my hands. Let's see, quite a lot. John says, love how you have achieved the reflected light. Thank you, John. Secrets that is on says you are a magician of light. Thank you. Mark, Ohio, I emailed you my first attempt at a self-portrait earlier this month to get your input. I do remember replying to an email like that. So did I reply or did I not? If I didn't, I will get to it. So sorry about the delay, but I do remember I replied. I don't remember seeing a self-portrait, but I may be confused it with a different email. So let me know. Juan Carlos Gonzalez Martinez. There's light under the nose. Thank you for letting me know. Luckily, I got it. John says, wonderful control of wet and wet, Liron. Laura Patton, amazing technique. Thank you. Juan says, great. Thank you. Lisa says, wow. John, wet and wet looks harder to do than wet on dry, but you make both look easy, Liron. Actually, wet and wet isn't harder. In theory, it's easier. Because you do have more reaction time. So in theory, it is easier. That's what I think. It may look a little more challenging. Artoshi Love, can you give links to these references so we can practice them? Yeah, they should be in the video's description. Let me make sure I do see them there. Let's see here. Yeah, they are there. So you have references, then 5, and then you have more awesome references, 7 more. So check it out. Juan says it looks great. Thank you. Artoshi Love, please. Can you give links? Yes, I gave them. Hamid Shah, hello from Bangladesh. Timothy Knofler, this is the first time I've seen black and white to color painting. It's great. Thank you. Oh, okay. See that I switched from the reference photo that was black and white to a color. Yeah. Yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun. You just try and get a similar value or a fun-looking value, and you're good. Nikhil Trahan, would you recommend frustration-free watercolor to someone who has no experience in rendering, not even shading, but knows how to sketch? Yes. I think it's really good for beginners to watercolor. I would definitely recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it if your goal is hyper-realism or if your goal is very focused around accuracy. It does give you the tools, but I just think there are better resources for that particular topic out there. Even some of my videos maybe are more well suited. Nancy G, thanks Liron. I'm learning so much from you. Love your paintings. Thank you. Ikem Core, SM Core, message retracted. Feel free to send it again. The real Andre B. Alpedes is your hometown in Israel. Yes, I live in Tel Aviv. James L. Baker, the highlight on the nose looks very hard-edged. The highlight on the nose, yeah, it is. We can blend it a little more in a moment. Means... Oh, okay, so Andre B. Alpedez says, Maligayang Pasko means Merry Christmas in Filipino. Cool. Do you know Jesus was born in Israel? Yeah, I know some of the history. Some of it. The best channel says, oh my god, the best channel says you're so good. Thank you so much. You are the best channel. I'm not, you are. Veronica Hildebrand, just wow, what a great lesson in building the portrait. At the beginning, I had no idea how you were going to pull off the likeness. Amazing. Thank you. Do you know W? I run into issues when attempting to balance cool and warm colors. When painting portraits, particular when adding details. How did you learn to balance color temperature? To be honest with you, even when it's whimsical and I kind of choose whatever colors I want to, one of the things I always think about is having both cool and warm. So very often the problem I see people have is just they use too much warm without cool or too much cool without warm. If you make sure you have both, it will do great service to your work. So this could be a possible solution. Now you can just send me an email at liron@lironyan.com with a particular painting. I'll try and help. Okay, so just send me an email with the particular piece that you think you want to improve, and I can give you better advice, I guess. Secret Citizen, yes, very expressive. Thank you, Marco. I'm not sure about the glasses frame on the shadow side. I actually like it. I don't know. I could improve it, but I actually like it a lot that way. W, I was just about to type the same. It's fantastic. Don't overdo it. Carlos Masucato looks amazing. Hugs from Brazil. Thank you. Eva Dosti, beautiful. My 2 cents. I darkened the entire right side some more to lose the contrast of the glasses. Then I would soften the hairline on the left. Interesting. So I actually like the contrast of the glasses. A lot of it will depend on your what you want to interpret. And you know what? When I look at it through the camera, it actually does. I may say the same thing. Let me try taking a picture of it and showing you. I'm curious to see what you'll say. I'm gonna take a picture of it, and we'll see what your opinion is, and if it stays the same or changes. So let me do that for just a second. Okay, so this I think is a little closer to what I see. I do want to waste a few moments on that. Sorry if it bores you, but I am curious to hear your opinion. I just can't capture it the way I want, but let's try it out. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to try it out. I'm going to put a picture here, and you let me know what you think. But yeah, the balance it's so subjective in a way. Like it really is whatever you decide you want it to look like. And let's see, date added. And I'm curious to see if we see different things here. So let's give it a try. Let's see here. I'm going to show you in just a moment the way I see it, or something that's a little closer to the way I see it, hopefully. Okay, I got the picture. Now let's bring it over. Image. Let me show you. I'm curious to see what you'll say. It's on my downloads folder. Sometimes I'm having some trouble finding stuff, even though the Mac is extremely comfortable to use. Okay, so here's what I see. And you tell me what your thoughts are. In a moment, you'll actually be able to see it. Here we go. Yeah. So this is a bit of a better quality version. I'm going to keep my eyes on the chat and see what you say. Curious to hear. In fact, let's move this aside. Let's make this a little smaller, like so. And let's hear your feedback. This is what I see. This is a little closer to what I see. So I'm on the side of not overdoing it, but let's see. The less dark under the chin really pops the face for me. Beautiful, thank you. The W on final review, since you put details in the shadow side of the portrait, the glasses on the shadow side contribute to add balance. Okay, yes, so I see. What I have, yeah, okay, so maybe you changed your mind after I added more details. I'm not sure, we'll see. Mila Anime says, wow, thank you, Rena Flores. By the way, if you just discovered the channel, because this happens often, feel free to subscribe. I have tons of videos like this one. Also tutorials that are very to the point, like not talking and reading comments, so just letting you know. Rena says, yo. Hi Rena, how are you? Eva Dosti says, what I have trouble with is knowing how dark to prepare my paint and how dark to go in first, second, and third, etc. My suggestion is, generally speaking, prepare way more paint than you think you'll need. That's the key here. Way more paint than you think you'll need. It's very important. The real Andre Biel Perez says, do you speak Hebrew? Yes, I do speak Hebrew. אני יכול לומר מה שאתה רוצה בעברית. נשמע שונה לגמרי מאנגלית, אני יודע. And I can also do like an Israeli accent when I talk English. So a lot of Israeli people will sound like this when they talk English. That's kind of the Hebrew accent dress over English. Nickel Tram, sorry to bother with one more question about the course. No worries. What tools are needed? Just brushes, paints, paper. It's very basic. It's a very basic watercolor course. Really basic stuff. What's Merry Christmas in Israel? You're born. So how to say Merry Christmas in Hebrew? That will be like Chag Molad Sameach. Chag Molad is Christmas in Hebrew, and it actually means holiday of the birth. I guess birth of Jesus. So Molad is birth. So it's Chag Molad. It's the birth, the holiday of the birth in Hebrew. So, and Sameach is happy. So Chag Molad Sameach. Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas. Marco, the frame on the shadow side looks too squared off. Oh, yeah. If you're talking about the shape of the glasses, yes, I see your point. Yes. I kind of ignored it so far, but yeah, I get it, Mark. I agree. It could be a little longer and then rounded, a little rounded. I get it. It's kind of too late to play around with it too much, but I definitely see what you're saying. Francis Lee says, great job. Thank you. Eva Dusty, see right when you head your arm over the right side of the face, it looks very different. Yeah, definitely. John says the quality of photo and camera phone is much better. Indeed. Kelly R. Wilson, maybe it's because the earpiece is missing on the right. Earpiece? Does the person have an earpiece? I don't think so. Eva, try covering the right side of the face with your hand. Oh, yeah, I get it. I think it was like this. Yeah, I saw it too. I saw it too. It's really weird. In any case, it's tricks of the camera. James L. Baker, what a difference. The color between the two photos is much brighter. Yeah, that's usually what happens. And it's unfortunate, but it's just part of filming, and I should get a better camera, probably. But in any case, I get your point for sure, and I would have otherwise probably maybe fixed some of it. I kind of like the way it looks, so I'll leave it at that, but I definitely agree with some of the points. One thing I will maybe give it a try is just the frame of the glasses. So let's see. So here, this is like surgery. This is what you have to understand now. I'm going to get rid of this. Not this. This. Yeah. So here's what you have to understand now. If I want to fix this, which I'm fine with, it's not going to be overwork. Let's fix the shape of the frame of the glasses. What you want to do is, it's really like surgery. Be extremely careful. So I'm using very thick paint so that I can put it in one go, and that's it. So like this. Let's get rid of some of it. I'll even get some dry brush effect because I want it to be very broken off and not too bold and all of that. So lots of paint, very little water on the brush. And here's what I'll do. I'll go very easy. Let's see here. I'm scared. Okay, so this goes all the way up to here, and then I'm gonna round it up like this. And maybe, just maybe, it helped with the shape. Now I know it looks very strong. That's because it's affected by the light. After it dries, and I can also pick back some of it up, but trust me, after it dries, it's going to look like a part of it. It's not going to be too felt. So I hope that fixed the shape of the glasses. I hope you enjoyed this process. Let's do another quick one, okay? Because I do want to go through a lot of these. By the way, let's see how this one dried, the one that some of you said you missed. I like this one a lot. Okay, let's remove the tape together. Let's have a fun little break here. So look at this. Here we go. Like that. I know a lot of people enjoy seeing this step. So we'll do that. Let's remove this side and the top. And hopefully that nice clear frame helps to make this look even better. Now let me show it to you here. I think that looks nice. I think that looks really, really nice. What do you think? So let's get rid of that. So we have a few more. This one has no face, so I'll leave it out. Let's do this one. This one is extremely hard. Let's do this one. I don't know. Let's go crazy here. We'll do this one. And my reference photo is right here. So this is going to be the last one. Now, honestly, not this one. This one. That's the one I wanted. So honestly, we'll go fairly quickly through this. I want to wrap up the live stream in about 2 hours. I mean, to be a total length of 2 hours, which gives us about 30 minutes tops. So I'm going to tape it. Eva says your actual colors are very pretty. Thank you. They always look better in a picture or in real life. Like, that's nothing compares to real life, no matter what. And also, I find that watercolors look much better in daylight, because remember that the natural sunlight really goes through the paint and gives this beautiful sparkly feeling, because it's reflected from the paper's white under the paint. Let's see here, like this. I'm really bad at taping on camera, so you'll forgive me. Like, really bad. I'm also bad at taping at Plein-Air. Whenever I do Plein-Air, it's been a while. I'm always having a hard time taping because of the wind and stuff like that. Here there is none of that, but still not my best skill. Let's get that here. Using a bit of a wider tape just because I'm going to run out of the thinner one. So I'm going to keep it for a future painting. Yep, okay, we're good. This one here for the angle. And get one last piece of tape here. Let's get to it. Strategy. I'm going to open up the reference photo so you can actually see it. Let's get rid of this. And let's bring it over. Image. This is all the things I want to do in advance, but never am quick enough and responsible enough to start in advance to actually get them done on time. So here is our... Okay, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry about that. Definitely not what I meant to do. Okay. So we have this here, and we have this here. Keep this smaller, move this aside, move this here. Okay, we'll do our best. This one is fairly complex to make things worse. This one's fairly complex, but I will do my best here. Let's open it up like this. A little larger. What up, dude? New here, the RKH. Welcome, welcome aboard. We're gonna paint one last portrait, so you got here right on time. Thank you so much. Francis says the shadow side of the face can be cooler. I actually like it. I don't know. I think I'll keep it that way. RKH, I was just doing this portrait, and I also finished this portrait here. And now we're gonna do one last portrait. This one. Going to be fairly challenging, but let's try something crazy here. So because I want to keep this one fairly quick, let me try and render the whole thing in one go with the kind of accurate values. Okay, we'll go, let's try it out. So I'm going to just render this as accurately as I can on the first go. We'll do this kind of a la prima, if you know what I mean. So let's try it out. It's gonna be crazy. I'm warning you, but let's try. Should I use a bigger brush? Let's use this one. A big challenge here is producing enough dark paint. If you want to paint like the darkest darks immediately, I'm gonna do my best. This is too light. I know it looks dark. It's too light. See how much flow there is? We don't need any of that flow. So I'm gonna go over it a few times. And I really will try to get this to be as dark as I can on the first go. Okay? Okay. A bit sloppy, sorry about that. I hope you can see everything well. Let's get a bit of a yellow in there too. If I have to, absolutely have to, I will do another layer. Okay, so this entire section is in the shadow, like that. But here I do have to be a little more careful. So let's switch over to a smaller brush. Let's go over the areas I already did. Sorry that it's a bit hard for me to talk while I do this, because this is getting a little more challenging, but here we go. Now, I'm going to try to render these shapes here. So we have these beautiful creases, wrinkles on the face. And then this goes kind of like that. And then it goes a little lighter. So let's get that lighter feeling going as well. This is something I would very often demonstrate for my students. It's pretty hard. So don't worry if you're like, what the hell am I doing? Because it's going to be a challenge. But I want to try it out. Let's try it out once. So this section is dark, but it's not black. This eyebrow is dark, so let's get a bit of a darker value here. See? Kind of like that. This is dark. And then, this is insanity, I know, but why not give it a try once in a while, see what happens, you know. This goes here. I am kind of leaving some more areas than in the reference photo as paper white, but I will fix it later probably. Okay, so just know that I haven't forgotten about these areas. In fact, very few things here should be paper white, so just so you know. Okay, yeah, we're good. It's been a while since I did one of these crazy approaches to portraits, so may not be my best work, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Plus, doing this live is kind of a challenge too. But no excuses. I'm going to do my best. There's no way I can actually monitor the chat right now. So, again, we'll see you afterwards, as they say. Okay, let's go a little warmer here. Kind of like that. And get these kind of mid-values in the cheek. This is kind of what Stan Miller does, only he's way more skilled at it than I am. And he's choosing slightly easier references for that particular exercise. He does way more complex stuff than I do, obviously, but he usually approaches them a little differently. So here we go, like that. That's lighter. We can actually get the rest of the darks here, so let's frame up the face by getting in those darker values here, like this. Bringing out the shape of the nose using the negative. And look at the variation in the features. Like this is really a rounded nose, barely any point. So there's a lot of variety because we talked about portraits earlier. It's really something important to have in mind. A lot of variety in the features of different people, and that's a part of how to capture the portrait with the likeness, rather. That's how you do it. You have to capture all of these small nuances of light and shadow. Not easy at all. And all the shapes, the nuances of the shapes. What do we have here? Let's do this. And again, an easier approach to do what I'm doing right now would probably be to start with an initial wash that covers everything but the highlights, and then gradually build it. But we're kind of playing extreme sports right now, so it's a different way of doing things, and I want to get this done alla prima. I don't know why, I really want to, so that's what we're gonna do. Go a little lighter here, and gradually it'll connect to the highlight that's in the middle. There's a bit of a darker patch here, kind of darker patch there, a bit of a highlight all along the nose, then a bit of a shadow underneath it. Okay, nice. Let's do this. Let's blend this edge a bit. Just a bit. We will later have time to get some more details and nuances into it, trust me, but for now we'll have to kind of do this crazy way of rendering. There we go. Now there's a bit of a kind of reflected, not reflected, but there's this shadow here on the other side of the face that I want us to get, kind of like that. And the trade-off, again, when you're doing it this way is you're trading off a lot of the control and the careful work in order to get something that flows. I didn't get it to flow that well, to be honest. I have some pictures that are a little better for this kind of a process. Maybe I'll introduce them in the future. I use them a lot with my students. Let's see here. This is like that. And then, if we want to get the mid value, I know that I don't say much with my words, so sorry about that. That's just kind of the best I can in terms of describing the process. We'll do this here and that there. You can't say much about these things I'm doing because I'm just, again, rendering those shapes. This connects here and here and here. Yeah, so I'm kind of lost, but that's fine. It obviously starts to look like the person, but there is so much going on. I'll probably have to take a chat break, look at some of your messages, and then return to it. We'll do that probably. Let's do a bit of everything here. Like that. Good. This entire section should be darker. I'm kind of going crazy here at this stage. Okay. So if that's the lip, this should be darker. And then here, this should be a little more blended. See, so we get something. Let me show it to you in the front-facing camera. Look at this here. Okay, so we get something out of this style. But I do want to make it a little more polished, so that's what we're going to do in a moment. Okay, slowly but surely we will do some improvements. It's all about now looking at areas and figuring out what should be darker, should be lighter, and kind of slowly getting that in there. Like this should be darker. Okay, now I'm starting to see. So look at, for example, this entire area here. There's a pretty significant shadow there, like that. See? Then it connects here. This shouldn't be as light. Obviously a risk. Like, I chose the worst portrait to do this method, but hopefully it's still fun and entertaining to see. Yeah, okay. Let's get the eye to be a little stronger. So we have this kind of thing here, like that. We have this crease here. This is a little stronger. We have another kind of strong wrinkle there. This here. Under the nose, that's got to be darker. Like this here. There is this darker section here that we'll have to blend. So let me blend this with a smaller brush. So you can paint this way. Like, you can go fully in one go and try and get all the right values in, you will get these weird gaps there. That's fine. Okay. Trying to see the big pictures, the big shapes. So one big shape I do see is how this is much darker, and this corner of the mustache is also much darker. Then here we have a bit of a stronger valued crease. And here, let's get some warmth in here. Which area was it here? This should be a little darker, but just a touch. And then I really have to blend it, blend the edges, okay? Like that. Okay, let's take a real quick break. See what you're saying in the chat. I need to take a break from this, but I do see all sorts of corrections we can make. So it's a bit crazy. Let's see here. What did we skip? Your actual colors are very pretty. Thank you, Eva. Okay, yeah. Nikhil says, love Israeli singers. Idan Reichel, Aviv Geffen, Dinette Yet are really good. Kelly R. Wilson on the glasses. Mark Ohio, yes, the first painting is very nice. Thank you, Mark. Let W, the first painting turned out greatly wrong. Thank you. Jackie Megan, I love the painting's end result. Thank you. Eva Dosti, love it. Laura Patton, I have a huge watercolor crush on you. Thank you. Barbara White, huge difference. Love the camera shot. Thank you. Francis, just my opinion. The shadow right side of the face can be cooler. Yes, that is true. Lisa says yes. Was it in regards to how to pronounce your name or just the result? I can't remember. Sorry. The timing is a little strange on the comments. What's up, dude? New here says the RKH. What's your favorite wrestler? I don't have a favorite wrestler. I don't know much about wrestling. Sorry about that. Francis Lee says the right side is well executed. Highlight part. Just love your works. Thank you so much, my friend. Maggie McNevin, you should live stream a Plein-Air with us. Definitely. It will happen. I will do one. Blake says, hi from Colorado, USA. Deborah Rosen, good morning from Cleveland, Ohio. Is your newly released Precision Free Watercolor course the same as previous version? Yes. I believe I replied to your email. It is the same. Yes. It's just a different like marketing kind of thing. I'm showing a different. Basically, no, it's the same. I'm just giving a discount. Rai Kakiro, hello from France. Christine Z, hello from California. I can't talk to anyone and paint at the same time, so kudos. Eva Dosti, this is nerve-wracking. How do you stay calm while doing this? I have no idea. Honestly, I don't know. But I do need some water. I don't know, it's just fun. I'll show you a zoomed out version of it again in a moment and you'll see. I think it turns out nicely. John Watercolor says 3 portraits in 2 hours while talking is just awesome. Is there a live next week? Thank you for these live sessions, Liron. Yes, my pleasure. Thank you. I'm considering doing 3 videos, like Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, like regular videos, and then pop in with a random live. I will let you know when, but that's what I'm thinking of doing. Lisa Bertram, I like that you go out of your comfort zone online. It makes me want to do probably new things. Yeah, for sure. Laura says amazeballs. Thank you. Eva says bravo. Is that indigo? It's not indigo. It's phthalo blue and a bit of quinacridone, or was it magenta? So it's kind of a purple, red, a cool red and a cool blue together, which creates something similar to indigo. Where did you get the photo from? Check out the description to the video. You will find it there. And if you can't find it there, refresh the page and you will find it. Christine Z, every stroke is bringing in more to life. Love this technique and can't wait to try it. What's beautiful about it is you don't have to worry as much about the flow. You just kind of give up control on an even wash and you just do it. So yeah, thank you. I'm happy to hear. The red under the nose. Matias Ledesma says hello from Argentina. Hey, Matias, how are you? So I'm ready to continue. Let's do a couple of touches and bring this close to wrapping up. So I'm going to fix the shape of the bridge of the nose. Let me show you. This here should definitely be more like this. So we got that down. Now, what should we put? There's a bit of a darker area there. This goes up, and now if I look at the big shape, the shadow up there should be a little darker. So let's do that. Let's go a bit darker on that here. Not too much, but we do need it to be a little stronger. Also kind of show the shape of the creases on the forehead. And this connects here, and this leaves a small highlight there. And that's at least what I see here. And then blend off this edge. So that's a little better. And by the way, I know the light's a little strange. Again, better camera is going to solve all of these issues. I'm going to darken the background near the beard just to get it to pop a little more. Okay, I need much darker paint here. And then I'm going to kind of work my way into it. Like so. That's good. That. Shape of the lip needs some fixing. So this should be darker. No strong highlight there. So I'm going to darken this. And then I'm going to go darker here up top. Go darker here inside the mouth. Darker here. This entire lower section of the lip could be darker. This touches the lower part of the lip. And I'm going to blend these two sides together. There we go, like that. You can actually get quite a realistic impression if you just build it up slowly that way. It's really interesting to see this kind of a process. I will probably go back and re-watch it. I don't watch my videos almost ever. Maybe older ones that I feel like I can watch because it's been a while. I find them boring because it's me, so you know that's how it works. Let's see, and just because I'm used to hearing my own thoughts and so on, so it's not new to me because it's myself, obviously. Let's dumb down some of these highlights in the lower section here, like that. To be honest with you, I kind of like it. I may stop soon. Oh yeah, that's bad. That's not good. Wait, this should be darker. Like so. There should be another much darker section under the lip, so let me get that right as well. Mix some dark paint. Here we go. Right here, I think. See this? Just a bit. This goes here. Just get this section a little more even. Let's get a few of these beard hairs, random strands, like this. I think that's fine. Obviously, I could have done a much better job, but let me. Let's see this shape here. That's not good. Here. Under the nose, it's a little more towards the inside, like that. This should be darker. You can actually see a bit of the other eye. I don't know if it'll show here, but that's fine, I think. Interesting. Like this, maybe. Maybe this will hint at it. We have the eyebrow here, this can be a little darker. And obviously this entire section could be darker, but I don't know if I'll go over it. Actually, it looks nice. Let me take a picture with my phone, once again, show you what I see, and just get your, I don't know, input on it, and I hope you enjoy this. It's a bit of a crazy process, but very fun to paint things this way. Very fun. So here we go. Took a picture. I'll send it to myself. This is really nice. And I'm going to make it smaller so you can actually see it. You know, when you zoom out a bit, you can see things a little more realistically. done. Let's bring it over. Let's do this. No, let's leave it here. Image. And save. Browse. Downloads. Okay, yeah, that's good. Now I'll make it a little smaller, obviously. And I hope you like it. I hope you like seeing it. Oh yeah, it rotated it. Thank you so much for that. I hate when that happens. So let me try rotating the original one. Maybe it'll help. Yep, it helped. Good. So I don't know if it made much big of a difference, but you can see a bit more of the nuance here. So I'm actually curious to hear your thoughts on this. See what happens when I make it even smaller. You see that really looks more realistic to a degree. Of course, it's not perfect, but I don't know, I like it. So let me see what you're writing in the chat, and then we'll kind of bring this close to wrapping up. I'm going to show you all of the paintings together. I think it'll be fun. So let's see here. Liron Rose. I think I read almost everything. Marjorie Johnson. Would love to see you do a watercolor of my favorite, Busker Eteton. He has an interesting face. Busker, is that a thing? Let's see. Let's see who you're talking about. Ton. I'm sorry, I'm really... oh, it's a musician. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, interesting. Okay. I may do something like that in the future. Okay, so yeah, don't worry about my name, Lee says. Okay, thank you. Satish Kamath. Would the shade go across the forehead below the creases? Yes. It does in theory. And if I had been more patient, I would have been able to show it. Eva Dosti says, I really like the spontaneity of it. It shows it was painted differently. Olga Katit says, Liron, this is very nice. Thank you. Timothy Knopfler, this looks fantastic. Really, I don't think you could have done so well just 2 years ago. Thank you. Yeah, the improvement does, I feel like I improved a lot in the last while. This in particular is a very fun way of painting, I think, like directly. So you say it's really beautiful. Thank you so much. Satish Kamath, it's much darker to look with. It's much more darker to look with the smaller image and sharper too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is a good point to wrap it up. Let's see what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna dry this. Just a moment of dead air time, and I'm gonna show you everything together. Okay, I'm gonna take everything out, remove the tape. So one moment, I'm gonna dry it. Okay, we're good. So one small tip, by the way, for drying, if you touch it and it's no longer cold, then you know the painting is dry. Just a quick tip. Let's remove the tape from this one and then from the second one as well. Slowly. I see we didn't have too many leaks here. We're good. Don't darken the left side of last painting. I will not. Like that. Remove everything, all of the tape here. Here we go, last one. And let's remove the tape off of this one as well, which I think has aged quite well. This one, that one. This tape had a few more leaks in it for some reason. That. Yeah, okay, so we have all three results here. Maybe I'll show you my face plus results. Let's see. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Let's move this aside. We don't need it right now. So yeah, here are all three results. I'm gonna bring back the top camera in a moment. I think it'll be easier to see it. Let's see if we can capture it all in the top camera. Let's see. Bring it over here. Oh yeah, you can actually see the whole thing. Good. So this is that. We'll get rid of this last one. And yeah, I don't know. I had a great time painting these. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing these processes. I've been enjoying doing the colorful work a lot lately. Kind of going crazy with the colors. I think every one of these has a few different things to it. So if you look at this one, there's a lot of light and white, and then the shadows kind of build up the shape of the face. If you look at this one, there's a lot of dark, and the highlights build the shape of the face too. If you look at this one, there's a lot of mid values because that's how we kind of went for it, and then a few touches of details within it. So they're all fairly different in their relations, you know, between. I'd actually reorder it that way, just for the fun of it. So like from super chiaroscuro to a little more into a little, I don't know, like a little more burnt at the highlights. You know, when they're kind of too highlighted in a way, but I like it. It's an interesting look, so that's fine. If it's an effect you're trying to achieve, it's really interesting. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I will look at them and maybe answer and address them in a comment. So feel free to leave your comments. If you don't want to chat, in the comments I'm more likely to see it. I really hope you enjoyed it. We have a few preparations to make for tonight. We have a few guests and we're going to celebrate Christmas our way. This helps to print pictures, can really help. We have them next to you. This one's really good. You can really see everything. So yeah, having these next to you is a good exercise. I use this when I teach. I actually show the reference photo right next to it. It's sometimes easier than having a monitor in front of you, like looking at the screen. And yeah, I did see a couple of people got the frustration-free watercolor course with the discount, so thank you so much for that. And if that's you, thank you. And if you haven't checked it out, now is a good time. The discount is probably going to be for about another week, I guess. So I'm going to give that 15% off. Let's see your comments and then we'll wrap it up. So yeah, John says, thank you for today's live session, Liron. Lots of love and best wishes to you, May and Ruth. Thank you so much, John. Marco, this is one very nice two-camera version is better for sure, of course. Lisa says, bellissimo. Thank you. Timothy says, boom, put that right in the gallery. It's good to go. Thank you so much, Timothy. Marco, yes, enjoyed it. Thanks. Kelly R. Wilson, fantastic. Marjorie Johnson, I've started over the last year or so to get back to doing people. Thank you for the inspiration. You got it. And if you feel like you don't want to do something that's too tight, just go for something like this. Start putting in the different shapes you see. It will connect to something. It may have less of flow if you compare these two. And even this one, like these two have much more flow to them. This one's more kind of rigid, but still it works. It works and it can look very realistic too from afar. Had I painted larger, I could have a bit more control of the nuances. Had I painted slower, I could have a little more control of the nuances, but just a very fun way to paint in my opinion. Olga says, these, thank you so much. Laura gives a standing ovation and claps, thank you. Rita Brata Basak, plans for Christmas. Just celebrate, have a few guests today, and that's it. We don't really celebrate it here usually. LW, great work, Liron. Thank you. Enio, I very much like all of these. I love the mix of color, red, blue, yellow. Gives a live feeling, if you know what I mean. Yeah, definitely. It's the kind of look I really enjoy. Satish said, thank you, Liron. You're a very good teacher. Thank you, Satish. Barb says, thank you for showing 3 very different techniques. My pleasure. I'm going to create like 3 IGTV videos out of this session, so that's great. Christine Z, you can see the texture much better in the camera version. Love these. I like art that isn't photorealism. Yeah, same here. Same here. I love some things are left for the imagination. Julie J, it really helps to see the process in real time. Thank you so much for this. Thank you. Christian Doodles. Haley Ron, Jasmine said she was going to learn how to filter her paintings because of you. Filter? Like actually creating a filter over them. Let me know what you mean. Christine, look forward to seeing more. Timothy Knopfler, thank you. I had a great time. Thank you so much, Timothy. Eva says, thank you, Liron. Great video. Didn't forget to click the like button. Thank you so much. Marjorie Johnson, my first sketch was Escoda. Oh, yeah, the artist. That's why I asked. Turning it into a watercolor, the musician, sorry, has been a challenge. We'll rewatch this for tips and techniques. Excellent tutorial. Olga says, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been a bit of a longer one, so 2 hours. Honestly, I would love to do even longer. I always say this, but just there's so much work to do before and after. But I really do appreciate you being here. I will update the thumbnail of this video to reflect what we did here. Probably maybe even show all three paintings because I think they look really cool together. And yeah, thank you so much. Drop comments. Let me know if you have any questions, anything I can help. I'm doing my best to answer as many as I can, even though I definitely can't answer everything. And yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, soon to come. Stay healthy, stay safe. What other words of conclusion can I say here? Let me show you my face as we say goodbye. Let me show you the paintings once more. And yeah, this is pretty much it. Thank you so much. I will talk to you again real soon.